Hey Scorpio, welcome to Divine Duality Tarot. My name is TJ. It is May and I have a love reading for you. So, what I'm going to do is a pretty simple spread to try to get the energy between you and your romantic interest, whoever this person is. Try to get the idea of what's going on with you, what's going on with them, the underlying issues, and that way you can have a little bit of forewarning instead of none at all. So this simple spread I do is 2 for you, gauging your energy going into it. Then I'm going to do 2 for our romantic interest, see what's going on with them. And then do 2 for to see what the dynamic is between the two of you. What is causing this energy? What is the actual issue going on here? Okay. All right. The first thing I'm going to do is go over the meanings here. Then we will get the whole picture, and then we'll go from there. If any of these are just a little too vague for our liking, I do have a second deck here for clarification or additional questions should we need them. So, you're the star here, Scorpio. Let's go over you first. You have judgment. Judgment is accepting failure, letting go of the past. It's reconciliation, it's acceptance, it's like forgiveness and stuff like that. It's judgment. It's coming to that conclusion. And then you have the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups is fulfillment, emotional fulfillment. It is having what you need. So, with these two together, what I'm seeing is you coming to the understanding of what you have. You may have wanted more, but you know that this is what it is. Does that sound about right? You've come to accept that this is the situation, this is what happiness is for you? Sound about right? Kind of in a state of figured it out, I've reconciled the problem, now I'm happy. But are you really happy? Let's find out what's going on with them. Because if you have any kind of doubt here, I think I kind of see where it's coming from. And the 3 of Cups, which is celebration. It is being, they're in emotional celebration. They're happy with the situation. They've got what they want. And then they have the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is movement, it's fast action, it's new romance. You know what I'm seeing here? There was an argument, and they won the fight. They're celebrating their victory, and they're moving on from it, stronger than before. You are telling yourself that, yeah, they're right. This is what it is. I should be happy with this new status quo. That's what I'm seeing here. You've accepted that this is what it is. They are reveling in the success. So, see what the dynamic is. First, it's temperance. Temperance is, it's hard to describe it without just saying temperance over and over again, because temperance is Temperance is temperance. That's trying to seek an understanding. It's not forcing issues. It's not being heavy-handed. Trying to take a more logical, fair approach. So then you have the Three of Swords in there, which is heartache. The issue here is roles in the responsibilities in this relationship. Because on one side, you have being fair, and on the other side, you have somebody who is just not, that's not enough. This is the beginning of control. This is the beginning of that. Your temperance, your not forcing, your balance, your understanding is now askew. And it hurts because you know that something ain't right. And here they are throwing a parade, marching down the streets, celebratory gunfire and fireworks everywhere because they have now gained an upper hand. Does that sound about right? Because that's what I'm seeing here. That is screaming that. Oh man, I don't like that situation at all. So I'm gonna ask a couple questions. Scorpio, what happens? I wanna know what happens with our friend here, Scorpio, if they go back and address this issue again. Scorpio, this one is you putting your foot down and saying, look, I'm not done here. I want to come to an understanding. I want to actually get temperance. That way we are on the same page. Scorpio puts their foot down for this issue. What's the outcome here? Okay. And what is the likely outcome if Scorpio just lets it ride? They won. You suck it up and move on. You just understand that it is what it is. Let's see what the most likely outcome truly is. Very interesting things here. All right. This is one of those situations where, you know what, I'm going to go over it after we get done with these. Five of Pentacles, which is instability in the physical world. If you put your foot down, it's going to change the dynamic of your household. If they're controlling, you putting your foot down is likely going to lead them to more control. All right? They're going to take more control of what's going on with the household. They may start thinking that they have more say in what goes on in the relationship. If you want to buy new pots and pans, they want to buy new pots and pans, but they like these that are more expensive. You like the ones that are less expensive. They're going to go with what they want, whether you like it or not, because they will start to develop that control. That's instability in your household. Never leads anywhere good, because that heartache is going to be there. That heartache is going to entrench itself, and it's going to cause you to cope, because you have the polar opposite of that Five of Pentacles. This is stability in the physical world. This is what you will grow to believe that exists. It will come down to, hey, we need some new pots and pans. I kind of like these, but what do you like? It will be, you might find stability in their decisions. You are now becoming submissive. It is no longer a 50-50. It is now like a 80-20. You are a voice, but you're back in the crowd now. You're no longer up on stage with them. Then you have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is walking away and moving on from a emotional situation. This is you walking away from what you were. You will be drained. You will start to see that things are not, you will start to see things are now okay that are not. Coping, acceptance. Then you have that Seven of Swords, which is deception. And this is that cherry on top. This is you fully buying into whatever crap that they have. Most likely outcome. You put your foot down, you reignite this fight. They're going to double down, become aggressive, and you're going to suffer. Because they already think that they've won. What they may think this is you getting ideas in your head that, you don't like that you lost. They may think it's something like that. They may say things like, you're just bitter because you weren't right. I mean, you could have been actually right, but they won the argument. Now you're in the post-argument phase. Here's what happens, most likely, if you just let it go completely. So over here, you have the ultimate opposite option. You put your foot down, you restart the fight, all right? This is you going back to square one and going on the offensive. This is the most likely outcome if you just suck it up and say, okay, they won. You start to believe, okay, this is what happens with that. You have the Three of Wands, which is expansion and growth of will. They're going to get more bold, okay? But you are too, because you may come to accept that, yeah, they were right, but I'm going to grow from this too. I'm going to learn from my mistakes. They're going to learn from their victory. You're going to learn from your mistakes. You're going to learn your place. I know that sounds harsh, but that's where that leads. And then you have this Chariot. The Chariot is, it's having the same vision. It's powerful, moving in the same direction. It's two forces that are pulling a relationship along. But there's one issue with that. This Chariot, the Chariot itself is your relationship. You're on one side pulling it, they're on the other side pulling it. In a normal circumstance, you're pulling together. You're pulling in the exact same direction, meaning that the Chariot pulls along just fine. This situation, though, you are no longer 100% in sync. And yeah, for quite some time, it'll pull in the same direction. Chariot's still moving, but eventually it gets to the point where the relationship is strained, you two are still pulling in slightly different directions, and as that gap grows, eventually, I don't have enough room in this wall right here, but eventually, you two are now pulling in opposite directions. Where does that leave the relationship? Still, stale, not moving forward. It is stopped. You are going to start that moving in different directions. Then you have the Two of Wands, which is planning for the future. It is building the will to get up off the couch and go get something to eat. It is that willpower to do better. This is you coping in a completely different direction. Because the next one is something that doesn't come up very often. Four of Cups, which is, or Six of Cups, I'm sorry, which is harmony. It is opening up. This is you accepting that this is now the status quo. This is you learning to be happy with where things are going. And that is where the Fool comes in, rounding it out, which is chances, leaps of faith, leaving the past behind, a new beginning. You will eventually leave all of that behind, because this will be you now. You will forever be moving in a different direction from each other. You're going to view that as what's right, that this is what's best for the us. It may feel that this is you coping, Scorpio, and taking the easy way out. Like that, I'm not saying, it is the easy way out. It is learning to just, oh my God. So Scorpio, I'm gonna ask a third question. I don't usually do this. I try to keep these short because you have things to do, I have things to do, we all have stuff we gotta do. But I cannot have you leave here just knowing that this question is going to be, give me a little bit of advice for our friend here, Scorpio. So what we have here is Five of Wands. Five of Wands is overwhelm, drama, arguments usually causing drama. Then you have the Six of Wands, which is victory. It's a power couple. It's a team that can get things done. And then you have the Eight of Swords, which is feeling trapped, which is feeling restricted. The truth is binding you, accepting things as they are. Then you have the Knight of Cups, which is new but slow, acting on feelings. And then you have the Ten of Swords, which is the ending of a truth and the beginning of a new one. What this is telling me is you need to slow down and think about what is important and what is not. This is saying to pick your battles. Right now you're overwhelmed, but what you want is to be successful, but you're trapped. So slow down, think these things through, and let this old truth end and begin a new one. And this new truth needs to be you making your way back into the front seat of this car. Right now you're in the back seat. You can still get into the front seat. I'm not saying to let this go, because we know that's not going to end well. But Scorpio, this is one of those things that the truth will set you free. You have to realize that what has happened has happened. How can you, Scorpio, use that to your advantage? See, here's where we're going to start looking at things through a different point of view. How can you learn from this person being a butthole? How can you use that to your advantage? If they started an argument over something, figure out how to make that work for you. Figure out how to worm your way in. And if going at it guns blazing is only going to get you socked in the face and thrown out the car, then maybe you need to figure out a way to tell them, pull over, let me drive for a little while. Get a new mindset toward the situation, and understand that you do have power. You do. But you, Scorpio, you need to be wise and very strategic on how you apply that power. Because if you don't apply any power at all, you're screwed. If you apply maximum power, you're screwed. Which means you need to work your way through the middle and try your hardest not to really get bound by emotion. That's what this one's really saying. Slow down, act on feeling, but be slow with it. Make sure that you are doing the right thing. Make sure that you are being very calculated with your steps, because if you go into it frustrated, we all do this. It is a human trait. When we are mad, we say things out of impulse. And that one word that you say out of impulse could give them ammunition later on that will come back to haunt you. If you're lucky, they'll say things on impulse that will be ammunition that you have in your back pocket to haunt them later on. You need to get leverage here. You need to get leverage in this situation so that you will succeed. That's what you have to do. You have to find leverage and apply it. Scorpio, you are smart. You understand reality. Don't let that reality become the status quo, all right? You know where things are going. You know where things are at. Don't let that be the end of it. You know that they're reveling in success. You know that they think that they've won the whole thing. They are now the ones standing on the mountain, and here you are all the way down in the valley. Okay, they won an argument. They won that fight. You're going to lose fights. We all do. The trick is to win the war. And if you want to win this war, you got to be 10 steps ahead. Scorpio, you may not believe in yourself, and this may not mean much from me coming from, the other side of a screen, but I believe in you, all right? Scorpio, I have faith in you that you will figure it out. You can do this. You have the ability to do this. So grit your teeth and do it. All right? So with that said, Scorpio, I really do appreciate you watching the video, hear what I have to say with the messaging here. I really do hope it helps you have a good idea of what's happening so you can make it better. I truly do. I hope the best for you, and I'll catch you next time.